Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, rescue cat, and 2 rescue guinea pigs who likes to craft in her spare time. Has gone back to school to learn ASL and is trying to train for Iron Man. Yeah, it's insane. Um, if you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message to boost my serotonin and my self-esteem, and I could use that. And if you are returning, you already know the crazy you're in for. So go grab your drink, then sit on back and let's have at it. This last week was exhausting, just absolutely exhausting, and I'm gearing up for another week of being absolutely exhausted. No puppies, in case you didn't catch that, no puppies came home from the leader dogs with me. It apparently was not God's will. Actually, it's because they keep them very tightly guarded and under lock and key. It was a little bit like going into the prison system. It was fascinating to learn about the organization. I'm going to be honest. It was absolutely fascinating. Um, at one point, I was like, it's a little puppy millish. Shouldn't, like, it was, I had to reconcile that feeling. Like, because they breed them very specifically because they need certain traits in the dogs. And so when they need dogs, because, they have a waiting list, they breed about between 400 and 500 dogs a year, they said. And when they need puppies, they basically call up whoever is the family that hosts one of their breeding females. And they say, could you bring her in? And then they call up the family who has the host male and they go, could you bring them in? And they let them do their thing. And then they have puppies. But each female, they have them on a rotation so that they don't overbreed a certain female dog and that. Each female in their lifespan with leader dog will only have like 4 or 5 litters, which, if you're breeding dogs, is not terrible, and they won't do them like back to back kind of thing. So they're very, very careful about that. Um, they run totally on donations. People may leave them money in their will or whatever, and their operating budget, if they don't do like renovations or anything, is $15 million a year. Million. It's crazy to think about. Um, they have specialists that work with the dogs. They had their own vets on staff. I mean, it was crazy. They also don't charge the blind and they only deal with blind or deaf blind. They don't train like service animals to. They train guide dogs. So you either have to be completely legally blind or deaf blind, and again, still legally blind to qualify for one of their dogs. They don't train like seizure dogs or any of that. Um, if you apply for one of their dogs, and are accepted into their program, then, and they also do a lot of white cane mobility stuff, then they pay for your transportation to come and stay there for basically a month to train with your dog. They pay for, your food, your housing, all of that while you're here. They pay for, obviously, transportation. They pay for, if you're more local and your dog needs vetting, um, you can bring them to the vet that are on staff. It's just it's insane. It was very overwhelming. And then our teacher um gave us an assignment, and we got to pair with our buddy, and we had to walk across a major road that has like 6 lanes of traffic going both ways, over through a parking lot into the PetSmart, find certain items. Then we switched. Like, I was blindfolded first, and then we switched. So my partner was blindfolded. We had to pay for it and then lead them back. Um, that was kind of. It was a little scary. Not even going to lie. It was a little scary because you can hear all the cars going by, and because it's not something you're used to, you can't necessarily gauge how far away you are from them. So yeah, that was my Friday. Thursday, I was in a full-blown trial over a custody issue. We won. Um, in the process, though, I learned that my client, I knew she was a single mom, and I knew, didn't have a whole lot of money. Her parents have died. She has two little boys. They are 4.5 and 3. And this, I knew when she escaped him. He is now in jail. He is facing 2 10-year felonies, 2 4-year felonies, and then a 1-year misdemeanor. She has a PPO on her behalf and on the boys' behalf against him. And I'm not giving any, obviously, any self, you're not going to be able to find her kind of or figure out who it is. So, but I found out like so after they left him and then got the PPO, they were homeless. And they lived in her car, and now she is got a little house. It's a Section 8, so it's not like in the greatest of areas. But this is like their first holiday that they're actually like gonna be in a house, like where they can have a Christmas tree or whatever. This was their first Halloween, so she got a couple little decorations for Halloween. So I put out on my Facebook. There was a couple things. She's like, yeah. She's like, I understand. Like, and I'm like, look, I will take less on a payment so that your kids can have Christmas. I'm not like that heartless. And she's like, no, I've been kind of like putting away $5 here, $10 there. Like it'll work out. And I said, well, what, like what can, like if I have friends who want to help you, what would you need? And she said, well, our TV just broke, and the boys do watch, different video, like TV. They're little kids, like, um, and she goes, it would be really nice to have like an artificial tree. Nothing major, And I said, okay, I'm on it. And so not only my friends have been like stepping up, like, okay, what else can we do for this woman? Like, so it's amazing. So my friends are, trying to, I have one friend who's knitting them Christmas stockings. I have another friend who's like, hey, I have some lights. My one friend who's knitting the stockings put me in touch with a couple organizations that I didn't even know about. And they're going to pitch in some stuff, some gift cards and things like that. So that, like she's not inundated with a bunch of stuff at Christmas, but then like left hanging where she doesn't have a little bit of extra support sort of thing. So it's been really cool. So I'm going to try. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm going to try and make some ornaments, but the one thing, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that, but I can go through my own Christmas ornaments, and I know that we have way more than we need. And I would love to be able to pass those along, kind of thing, like to somebody who's just starting out their family. And that's so we'll be doing that over the next couple weeks, and getting that to her. So I'm super, super excited about that. I have a trial tomorrow, and then I have hold please. Hold please. Sorry about that. Okay, so I have a trial on Tuesday, Monday. I have a trial on Tuesday. I have a hearing on Tuesday. It's not a trial, but Monday is a full-blown trial. Wednesday, I have classes. I have a bunch of I have 3 assignments that are due between now and then. We went to Brick Fest or Brick World Saturday, so yesterday, and interpreted. That was pretty cool. What was nice is, while maybe I didn't interpret it as long, I only had like 2 different signs that I didn't know or needed like to correct. Um, like I do presentation with my hand like this, but presentation is like this. So it's that little tweak, but that's something that when I go to take the BEI, they'll be looking for the difference between this and this. Would somebody who's deaf know that's presentation? Yes, but it's not quite the right sign. Like it's a little bit different. So sorry, there's somebody out there blowing leaves and it's setting off the chorus of dogs, my band of demons. So we did that. What else happened this last week? those were that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wednesday is obviously always my class. I actually was so tired that I asked my professor if I could just use Zoom and zoom into the class. She allowed that. I'm forever grateful because I was exhausted. Um, I've had clients coming in. It's driving me nuts. So I thought I had the Comcast, or I had WoW that was supposed to come into the like get me internet. They emailed me Friday night. We're sorry, we didn't realize. After, like, they're like, oh yeah, we're sending over a specialist. They'll be able to get you a date to set up and everything, right? Waited, sent 3 emails. I'm like, great, this is great customer service. I get an email Friday night. Yeah, we would have to come and drop lines to your office. We don't currently provide to that building. So we would have, and that will take at least 45 days. So that's kind of annoying. So it has been busy. Um, Trying to start to gear up and plan for next year, which is always weird for me. So we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna see my stitching. But honestly, like, I haven't been stitching a whole lot this week because I have been just court, class. Like, it has been, yeah, I've gotten a lot filed. I've gotten a lot taken care of. The ex-husband had surgery on his foot Tuesday morning, and he has decided that when he gets out, he just needs a couple days, and um, he's moving down to North Carolina. And my heart breaks for my kids because I worked so hard to put aside sometimes my feelings and to bite my tongue and things like that, so that my kids never felt like they had to choose, like, if mom was there, dad wasn't going to be there. Or, there's been times where, like, their dad is like, well, I can't afford to go, and I'm like, I'll cover the bill, just so that they could know that both parents, they could have two parents, because that wasn't how I grew up. And so for him to just walk away so cavalier with a woman he's talked to online and has met supposedly once is just, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. I don't know what else to do. Um, so because of everything, I don't have a whole lot of stitching to show you. So let's get into that. So the first one is always, well, it's not always the first thing I show, but I always seem to find time to work on Rosie. Rosie is my happy, calm place. Um, so I picked up the skein last week. I told you guys, of 814. So I was able to put in a lot of the red. I love this piece so much. I can't get over the details. Like, this is another one of those, like, at times when I'm stitching and I'm like, is this really going to work? This is another one of those where you trust the process. Just trust the process. Because it really is working. So I love that piece so much. I really and truly do. The one piece that I worked on a ton this weekend, and I still got way too much to do because it's due soon, is a test stitch for Rin, and so I can't show you that. Sorry. I worked on Jeep Van Gogh. That is on my Whip Go board. I found an error, and the other night I spent ripping out about 1,000 stitches. It felt like so much. So I did get some more back put in, but you can tell. It makes me sad. This is now it's due for 15 more stitching times before the end of the year. So yeah. Okay, what's next? Next up is Buffet Mat. It was my October call, and I did finish up my squares on that. It's so good. And I say that, and, like, it's mind-boggling to me, the details and stuff that's coming out already. I think I'm nearing 3 or 4%. I mean, like, it's like nothing. I do have, like I said, I have the one page finished, obviously, like up in here. But it's amazing the details that are coming out already. Amazing. Craziness. I did work a bit on Wiener Wednesday. Not very much, honestly. Like I said, I have not stopped. I feel like it's exhausting. So because I freaked out, I did work all the way over. There's one more stitch, I think. No, I think we're good. I think that's as far as it goes over. So I got in part of the flower. I don't know what the heck that is. I don't know. Let me look. Instead of me just going, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's part of the pumpkin. It's part of the pumpkin. So we're working in this area here, and then the acorn. So it will all fit that way. So now my thought is that I'm going to work it all the way over. Although I started basically in the middle. So it should fit. Should. It should. I did find the other, all of them, my little stack of patterns. They were where I thought they were. I just kept missing them for some reason. It's very weird. I don't know. Okay. So last week on my 52 card whip pickup card, I pulled the purple pumpkin. This will end up being a friend of mine's, a gift for her. So I worked on this on Halloween, and I got all of this in, and this is E940, so it will glow in the dark, as will the little ghosty that started there. I got the bit of gray put in. All of this I got put in, and then the lines. You know what? I can show you a picture. It is a free pattern. If you go to, I think it's a free pattern. Yeah, it says freebie chart. It says freebie chart. So this is what I'm stitching, just so we're all clear. So I have here and here. That's the lines there. And then I started the little ghosty. I've more than doubled where it was in the one day. More than doubled it. Okay. So then I also, on my whip go is Modern Folk Embroideries, Fruit of Plenty sale, and I believe this was the 2021 sale. Could be 2020. I don't know. My goal, though, so I've met the whip go goal of 10 stitching times. My goal, though, is to get it to 25%, or to 25%, to 50% by the end of the year. Maybe I can see where I'm at. The dog bells. The dog bells. The dog bells. Okay, so let's just see. So Buffet Mat is closing. It's at 2.79%, which is pretty good because at the beginning of the year we weren't even at 1%. So that's some good progress there this year. Rosie is now at 54.91%. Jeep Van Gogh, with the having to rip out so many stitches, we're back down to 3.71%. But again, that's a lot more than we were at the beginning of the year. So we're going to go with that and be happy. Okay. So Modern Folk Embroidery, we're at 47.23%. So my goal, I'm going to leave it out, even though I'm done with the whip go goal for it. Because my goal is to get to 50% by the end of this year. So this is where we're at. I do love this piece so much. So I really worked, I got this, did I get this motif all the way around? Oh, oh, thank goodness. Okay, but I worked through here and gotten this. I had to backtrack a little bit. I don't know why. Like, so I still haven't figured out what for sure what colors are gonna go for those. But I figure that's pretty good. So that is really and truly all the stitching I got done. Other than the one that I can't show you. And if you know me that like that's not a ton. But so that leaves me, I still need to do 10 days on the periodic table and then 15 days on Jeep Van Gogh before the end of the year. And then my Whip Go card will be completely blacked out. So the topic of 12 by 12 is starting to get kicked around. And the last couple of years I've done, I think the last 2 years maybe I've done 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve. And so I know that Kia is going to try and focus on 12 new starts from magazines. And I love that for her. I don't necessarily have. So here's my problem. I don't want to start a bunch of stuff just to start a bunch of stuff. And I feel like if I went with the whole magazine idea, I would be starting a bunch of stuff just to start a bunch of stuff. Do I have some magazine starts that I want? Yes. What I thought would be cool for me is there's a bunch of like little smalls, and I don't have many smalls in my whip pile. Most of my projects are kind of bigger. You know, it's the modern folk embroidery thing. It's G Van Gogh. Like they're bigger projects. So I thought about it and I was like, you know, there's a lot of little small like ornaments, and especially now that I've decided that I'm going to decorate the work ficus, there's a lot of ornaments that have been sitting in my pile. Like, oh, you know, I want to get to them. I really do, but I get sidetracked. So what I thought is I would work on 12 ornaments, not necessarily Christmas ornaments, as you'll see, but basically 12 ornaments on New Year's Eve. And then on New Year's Day, you'll see a couple that will cross over, but on New Year's Day, because New Year's Day in Michigan is generally kind of as far as weather, I'm going to work on things that have either are somehow related to the beach. So I'm not going to, some of these I won't show you because I'll tell you, like, they're going to be like, you know, a New Year's Eve day sort of thing, but some of them I'm not going to worry about because they're bigger and you all have seen them. So I have them in a box, and this is my plan. So I have my box because, yeah, I'm going to make one big floss ring for all of my ornament DMC. As you'll see, some of them I don't need to have, like, they came as little kits, which would also declutter a bunch of stuff because they're little kits and they've just been sitting around and get them done. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna make a floss ring with all of the, like, the basic floss, and they're gonna go in there. I need 2 more flosses between the 2 days, and I need 2 Mill Hill beads, but I think I'm just gonna substitute them for the beads I have, and I'm not gonna worry about it. So the first up is called Seas and Greetings. This is a little kit I bought a while back that came completely kitted, including the linen and the needle and everything. So that is on my list. And then if I don't finish this one on New Year's Eve, this is my lead off on New Year's Day. So between the 2 days, I mean, y'all saw it. I mean, it should get done. between the 2 days. It shouldn't take me much longer than that. That's probably one, especially on day 2. So what I do on my 12 by 12, I don't necessarily stay to an hour. If family stuff comes up, then I participate with my family over stitching on both days. And if I get really close to the finish and I'm past my hour, I may just go ahead and finish it, kind of thing. And that's okay. These are just, they're in my box. Okay, so the next up is a kit that was given to me, and it's just a little activity. I mean, seriously, why haven't I just sat down and done it? It's got all the flosses. It's got everything, like, really and truly. Okay, then we have Peppermint Doxy. Again, everything in there. This could also go for Wiener Wednesday, but it's on there. The next up, I know I'm not going to get them done on this day, but I have them actually on both days, and that's the Polar Plunge series, and I have the Narwhal as well, that you had to, like, go onto her website. I have to download that. It kind of bums me out. I wish she would have offered, I honestly, I would have paid a couple extra bucks to have it so that they were all, like, I had all of them. I am going to do this on on Greystoke Fabrics. I have, oh my god, what the heck? I have half a yard. It is a 28 count linen in the color Lizzie. So I will just, and I have the little boards. I didn't realize until after, and I was sitting at home, that the model is stitched on 32 count. And I bought the boards, but I bought 28 count. So I'm a little worried that my boards aren't going to fit. But that's for future Kelly to have to worry about. And I actually sprang for the Classic Colorworks floss, rather than just stitching the DMC. So that will be cool. So this is to get worked on both days, but what, I don't know, should I do the Narwhal first? I probably will let Bella pick which animal we do first, and I will just work on that one both days, and then I'll work to the next one, kind of thing. Okay. Next up is from Good Morning Maui, and it's Danny and Sandy from Greece. Obviously, this is a Valentine's Day stitch, and that's okay. It's been one of those, it shouldn't take me that long. Shouldn't. I know, Kim. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. I don't remember what the stitch count is, but it, okay. Then I have the Autumn Lane Stitchery. I have Mrs. Claus. I have Frosty. I have Rudolph. And I have Santa. So I have all 4 of them in that series. So that's in my box. So again, I will start on one and that. I consider this an ornament. It's kind of a bigger ornament, but it is from Hilltop Cross Stitch Club, and it's their February. But that reminds me of the couple from Up, and I love them. So that's on there. Okay. This one's from the Happiest Hoop. I have no idea. But it's a piece of pizza, and it says "Piece of my heart." That is totally my kid. I will be stitching the cowboy hat that says ass hat, because if you know me, you know me. Yeah. There should be one more in the stack. Hang on. Okay. Yep. It's a chemistry one. It's a Valentine's Day, and it says "Be Mine." I have this. It's a fortnight linen. Some of these are just gonna be, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's another set. These are from the Jingle Ball from last year. One was, they're both exclusives to the Jingle Ball, and you know, the one was in the main book, Mrs. Fox. I don't remember her name. Clementine. Because Clementines. And then I bought the exclusive because you can't have one without the other. So Mr. and Mrs. Fox, Clementine and Coulter is his name, are on there. And then my donkey. And that is going on my Wonderland hand-dyed fabrics in mock turtle. We'll get all three of those. So let me see. Yes. Okay. So now moving into a little bit more into New Year's Day, which we're going to do beach theme. So just so you know, I'm going to include Bella's stocking because it's got a big giant sea turtle on it. My Kristen the mermaid, my Arctic mermaid, my Santa mermaid if it's not done. I hope he's done. Summertime because it got this swimsuit and everything like is beachy on it. So summertime is on there. My big Disney because the Little Mermaid, if nothing else, the Little Mermaid is on there. Williams map, game map, because it's got water bodies of water on it are also on there. I didn't pull those out to show you. Okay. So this one came from a magazine. It came from the Cross Stitcher magazine of like 2021. Yeah. Can we just love that? Can we just love that? So that will be a new start. This is out of a old magazine called Craft Ideas from who the heck knows? Summer of 2015. So much. We also have the carryover of the Polar Punch, the carryover of the Season's Greetings one. And then I am going to actually start Toes in the Water. I mean, so there's a good mix of whips, and then there's purposefully picked and curated new starts. So it's a fun mix, but I do want to get all of my floss drops up and going. So that's where we're at. I started to think about Whip Go for next year. I do enjoy Whip Go. I do like to play it. I do find it helps me make some progress on pieces that maybe wouldn't have otherwise been touched. This can go over there. Okay. So as of right now for Whip Go, the assumption that I am making is that Rosie will be done. I don't want to put Rosie on Whip Go because I want Rosie done as soon as possible, even if it's not done right for Christmas. So regardless, like I won't start Whip Go pieces probably until Rosie is done. So right now I have the Kay and Dennis piece on there. I have the French horn, the map, the game board map, William stocking, Bella stocking, the periodic table, the ant placematch, which is my oldest whip. Absolutely oldest. I started it when the kids were little. The planet cell for Bean, and Santa's Travels, which leaves me 5 open spots right now. And so when we do kind of like the whip parade, I'll let you guys kind of fill in those. So if you have a request to fill in one of the spots, let me know. You can put it down below. And I will either, if there's, okay, that actually gives us 6 spots. So if you're one of the first 6, if I get more than 6 ideas to put on the board, then maybe we'll draw from a hat or do like the 6 biggest vote getters. I don't know. We'll see. So I picked up all of the flosses but the 2. I also picked up some 22 count white Aida, Charles Craft white Aida, and then some it's called it's a 28 count Carolina linen. It's kind of like an oatmeal-y color. I'm gonna do stitch high tide on this, and then this is just kind of to fill in like whatever doesn't have. The crab flag can go on this, although now that I'm thinking about it, maybe not, because the white and the sand out, like, I'll have to think about this. But I figured between ornaments that I didn't pull fabric for already and little things like that, we're good to go. The other thing that I got, sorry Janet, you're gonna have to go back to Target. This was in the little dollar store. Now it was $5 at the Target. It's a $5 spot. But it reminds me, it's like, it's kind of cool, like the bat thing. But I was thinking it'd be really cool if you did like a little like you could do a stand-up snowman in there. You could do, what I'd really like to find is maybe Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus kissing. So they could stand in there and then like put some like little white fluffy stuff, so it looks like they're standing in the snow. I don't know. What else would you put in there? What else could you put in there? Like, it was just so cool that I had to grab one. And again, I'm not sure. But yeah. So I did. Oh, no, I showed you guys that. I showed you my fabric, right? I think I did. It's Santa on the beach, obviously. And then sharks with Santa hats. So that's all I got for you. I did not draw for the fabric. I need to do that. I did not with everything, and then I wanted to film this before I go and take care of a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry I don't have more to show you. It's probably going to be a pretty lean week next week because I really have to focus in on the piece for Rin, which will take precedent over my normal routine. So with that said, remember, you are smart. You are beautiful. You are brave. You are loved. You are cherished. You are wanted, and you matter. So we'll talk later. Bye, y'all.